Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to downtown Miami. We finally made it. We're on the corner of Northeast 10th Street, overlooking the Casella Center. We'll get started here in just a moment. I think I'll plug my mic in because it's a little bit windy. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. What do you guys think? I think we should just do that. All right, well, what's up everybody and welcome back to Walks in Wall Street. Today is Wednesday. It's finally the middle of the week. It's 2024, and today was a pretty busy day on Wall Street. Congratulations to all of the bulls and the optimists out there. We hit a brand new all-time record high for the S&P 500. So if you've kind of been, reading the newsletters, joining the discussions each and every night on the live stream, our main thesis is that we are in a major, what I like to call cycle or cyclical bull market. And along the way, you have normal corrections and, market drops and things like that. So it seems as if the S&P 500 is broken out of that correction territory into new all-time record highs, which is quite fantastic. So congratulations to all of the longs out there. Now, this is a pretty cool building that we're looking at. This is a museum building. Very unique. Love the architecture, love the style. And you're pretty much in walking distance from the Casella Center, where the Miami Heat play. Now, we also had CPI. We had inflation data that came in 3.4%. I think that's still pretty unacceptable. However, we did see some specific categories show improvement, which we will probably dive in a little bit deeper to in tomorrow night's live stream. I just wanted to pop on and say hello to everybody. Last but not least, as many of these specific sectors kind of emerging out, breaking into new all-time record highs. We did also get a new record high on the NASDAQ 100. So positive news there. A lot of the high beta stuff is engaged. And also, we're kind of getting that cycle rotation into small caps. If you looked at the IWM, which is the ticker symbol for the Russell 2000 ETF, you're actually getting pretty nice action there, breaking over the previous swing high. This is the Paramount Tower. I believe this building has the highest concentration of amenities out of any residential apartment unit in the United States. Pretty cool. Yeah, a lot to talk about. Another thing, Bitcoin seems to be emerging out of this, what I like to call a 2-week handle, right? So we came up, broke 70,000, reached a new all-time record high, and we've sort of been handling here for about 2 months. And now we're just breaking back over that 50-day moving average, and we kind of have that 200-day moving average curling up, headed higher. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin, I'm bullish on gold, and obviously, as you guys know, I've been bullish on equities. So it's been a good day. Record highs across the board. We got to Miami in one piece. It's going to be scorching hot. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous tomorrow in terms of the temperature, and I'm excited about it. So let's say hello to everybody in the chat, and we'll take a little bit of a stroll through downtown Miami. Anna, what's going on? Richard, always a pleasure. Richard says, Tom, gold 2400, silver 30. Yeah, I mean, commodities in general have been performing pretty well. Now, what's interesting about small caps is usually small cap stocks tend to perform better, again, generally speaking, as interest rates come down. And we've talked about why. So maybe, after this inflation report that we got, this is kind of forecasting the potential for a rate cut. Maybe the Fed will be forced to pivot. We'll talk about that later as well. This is the Kaseya Center in downtown Miami. This is where the Miami Heat play. It's a beautiful night. Marie, Rose, Alan, what's going on? I see Dante Rose, Solo 401. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Mark says, hey Tom, what's going on? Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on any of the altcoins. I guess you could call me a Bitcoin maximalist to an extent. But wow, I mean, geez, am I happy to be back in Miami. It just feels like, I already feel better. I don't know what's going on in New York this year, but this May has been kind of horrible with the weather, not gonna lie. Now, when I left New York this morning, it was probably mid-50s, and it was raining, it was dark, it was kind of cloudy and gray. My flight was actually delayed by 2 hours because of the weather. Coming in and out of JFK, there was big backup in air traffic. So I pretty much just landed. Landed about an hour ago, jumped on the Vespa, thank God it was still there, and then drove to downtown Miami to check in with all of you because I couldn't not stream when the S&P 500 hits a new all-time record high. I know Mach E says, hey Tom, Madison Square Garden was electric last night after the Knicks won. I'm super excited about that, very happy for New York in general. Like I said, you guys heard me talk about this all the time. I think this is a big turning point for New York. I can feel it. It's just almost like you have that gut feeling that something massive is gonna happen. And I think that the stars are aligning for a big turnaround in New York as we head into summer. We just need the weather to pick up and start being nice. But if the Knicks can make a big run, if the Rangers can make a big run, our thesis on tourism exploding is probably going to be even more reinforced. So we'll see. I'm really happy, and it's good for small businesses. You know, sporting events, hotels, restaurants, all that good stuff. Now guys, I got to point out this building for all of those who have not been to one of our Miami, Florida live streams. This is my favorite building in all of Miami, Florida. This is called the Freedom Tower. It's a very, very old building. This is actually the exact spot where the vast majority of Cuban immigrants fled communism in search of prosperity, free markets, capitalism in the greatest country on earth. So I think the building's fantastic. And they're doing a little bit of restoration. As you can see, the scaffolding, it's followed us from New York. But it's an awesome building, particularly as that scaffolding comes down. It's usually lit up in different colors, kind of like the Trade Center is in New York. And it's right here on the corner of Northeast 6th Street, adjacent from Bayside. I think that's probably what we'll do today. We'll walk around the Bayside Marketplace and the new Pier 5. Thomas GS is the rewind does not work. It does not work. I'm too tired to set it up tonight. I just kind of clicked the record button and go. I just got off the plane like literally 45 minutes ago. But we'll go ahead and just to kind of give you the lay of the land here. So we know that this is the Casella Center. Down there is that famous 1000 museum that has the helipad on the roof. This is the Freedom Tower. That is the Paramount Tower. Now, this highway is going to take you down to further down past Bayfront Plaza, around the corner and over the bridge to Brickell, so over the Brickell Bridge. So this is downtown Miami. Now, if you think about, you know, a lot of the foot traffic, a lot of the action where a lot of people live, which is kind of nicknamed the mini Manhattan, that's not here. That's probably about a mile just southbound of us. Not too sure if we're gonna have enough time to go there tonight, but we will take a stroll around the marketplace, assuming it's still open. This is a really cool project that's just opened. It's called the Elser. It is a hotel and residence. And pretty much what it is you can buy fully furnished studios up to 4 bedrooms. And since Miami, generally speaking, is a very transient place, many people snowbird here. So they come for, 3 to 6 months out of the year, and then they go back to Canada, they go back to New York, they go back to Boston, wherever they go. And during the off season, you could rent it out in the hotel pool. So it's kind of interesting. And there's a lot more of those specific towers coming up too. Another exciting project as we move southbound here is going to be the construction site of the Waldorf Astoria Tower, which when that is complete, it is going to be the tallest residential tower south of the World Trade Center. And you guys got to check out and just do a little bit of a research on the Waldorf Astoria. They built it so tall that in order for the foundation to support the building, they had to use this special technology called soil mixing. And there's a pretty good video on YouTube, so you can check it out, Waldorf Astoria Residences, Miami. Some of the renderings are really cool. I mean, check it out. So this is essentially a rendering of all of downtown Miami. This is where we started the live stream, right here at this 1000 Museum building. We've then walked all the way down past the Casella Center. And then this huge building right here, which obviously isn't built yet, that kind of looks like a bunch of blocks stacked on top of one another. That's going to be the Waldorf Astoria Residences. So pretty spectacular, pretty amazing. If you just go to the Waldorf Astoria Residences Miami website, you could look at some of the renderings. They give you a little bit of a perception of what the views will be like. It's really quite spectacular. Here's another. Yeah, it's pretty much just going to be like cubes stacked on top of one another. It's going to be very, very cool. I mean, so much stuff is happening here in Miami, so much construction, so much building. Now, as we head even further down, we're going to run into the 200 Southeast Financial Center, which is the temporary headquarters for Citadel Securities. And as we know, as we'll cross the street here, Citadel is one of the largest quantitative hedge funds and market makers on Wall Street, and they have chosen Miami as their main corporate headquarters. So they will no longer have their corporate headquarters in Chicago. They're coming down to Miami. That doesn't mean that there's going to be no employees in Chicago. They'll still have a pretty big presence in Chicago. However, they will be building their massive super tall in Brickell, which is just yet to go into construction. I think the groundbreaking is rather soon. This is the Bayside Marketplace. Once we have the light, we will cross. And we will head in. Also, there's some additional news that .72 Asset Management is expanding its operations in Palm Beach. I will actually be in Palm Beach on Saturday doing some exciting stuff, which I hope to share with you guys quite soon. These beautiful views. All right, we'll just do one quick lap around Bayside and we'll head out. Hey, what's going on? Hang with Mark Mom. This is 85 degrees, but feels like 92 in Miami. It feels really, really nice. Now, it feels nice to me because it's been an endless gray, cold, windy, nasty, and rainy in New York. And it's the middle of May, and the weather's been horrible, so hoping to enjoy it. Richards, is any chance of some Vespa videos? I don't know. I'm gonna be quite busy this trip. It's only gonna be a 4-day trip. It's pretty much just gonna be business, 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 and then I'll be back in New York, possibly Monday, maybe Sunday night, and then I'm gonna be back down in Miami for about a week, first week of June. So lots of interest, lots of exciting things happening down here. So just like my bull thesis has played out so far in Miami, I think that will continue, and to double up on that, I think we'll get an extra push from New York, and I think a lot of people are going to be left behind. I do, really do. So this is the new Pier 5. Now, for those of you who are just joining, tomorrow we're really going to get into a deep dive of the CPI report that came out today. But just to cover some breaking headlines, brand new all-time record high for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 today. So markets are strong, and we're starting to have a little bit of improved breath from the Russell 2000. So Russell 2000 stocks are starting to break out, which is great. Good to see you. Bayside, and then I want to at least go to the Aston Martin residences, as they've completed the entire wraparound on the Riverwalk of the Aston Martin residences, so we'll check that out. Now, one of the things I'm really encouraged about, particularly in Miami in general, is that they're actually doing the correct thing to solve the affordability crisis. Because as you know, Miami has seen such an explosion in population. I should really say the Miami-Dade County and surrounding neighborhoods and areas. The one thing that they're doing appropriately is building. You also see other cities doing this too, like Austin. They're building in a major way, which is funny because, you know, the media, and this is kind of why it's important to understand how to interpret the media. Because number one, the media is all about sensationalism and it's all about headlines, right? And kind of let me explain this thesis specific to housing. So number one, they'll write a bunch of these articles, you know, bashing cities like New York, bashing cities like Miami, and bashing cities like Austin, Texas, saying that, you know, the middle class dream of owning a home, home ownership is out of reach, it's never coming back, America's going to zero, this is horrible, doom and gloom, blah, 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 blah. But then the moment that some of these cities actually start to get on the right page and do the appropriate thing in order to bring the cost of housing down, which is build new product, once prices start to decline and soften, what's the narrative in the media? The narrative in the media is another 2008 financial crisis, you know, another massive wreck. So it's all about the interpretation. You'll never see an article saying prices are cooling because cities are doing the right thing by building more product, putting more inventory on the market, putting more supply on the market, easing prices, and God forbid that, you know, a family of 5 could afford to buy a home or rent something. So I think it's important we understand those narratives, because short term, as rents come down and as valuations come down, particularly of multifamily assets that I think were a little bit overextended, and single family assets, it's actually very good for the economies in these major cities like New York, like Miami, like Austin, because if a family, a working class family, doesn't have to spend over 50% of their income on rent, well, maybe they can spend that towards investments or towards acquiring assets or investing in businesses. So I think it's important, and I think the country's actually moving in the right direction, as opposed to what kind of the media biases are. So I think it's all about, you know, interpretation, and I couldn't be more bullish on America, really on the long-term prospects of this country. This is the Metro Mover here, coming around. Hey, what's up, Brad? Good to see you. Sunshine After Rain, welcome. Luxury Logic. Neighbor Bob says, Tom, are you concerned about the overall credit card debt over $1 trillion? Yeah, it's definitely a concern, and we talked about that, and we also wrote about it in the newsletter. I think the thing to watch is the trend towards pre-pandemic levels in 30, 60, 90-day delinquency for cards. And we're pretty much almost back to 2019 trend in terms of delinquencies. So it's not at alarming rates yet, it's just normalized, which is what you would call a mean reversion. So I think in general, things have reverted to the mean. Now my main concern about that, and just debt in general, is consumer debt is kind of the worst debt to have if you're carrying it every month, because it's the most expensive type of debt, right? It's the most expensive. So if you have, to your point, according to the Federal Reserve, over $1 trillion worth of credit card debt outstanding, well, you just do the math. Google what is the average APY on credit cards. You know, some credit cards can have an average APY of over 20%. So as interest rates have gone up and debt balances has gone up, it's simultaneously more difficult to service that debt. Now, if you kind of take that back to the equity market, what I think we're seeing, and Stan Druckenmiller kind of talked about this when he gave that interview most recently on CNBC, it's that if you look at where we are today, I just want to get the Metro Mover. I think the Metro Mover is so cool, this thing. Now this building with all the graffiti here, this is going to be torn down, and in its place is going to be one Bayfront Plaza. This is going to be a brand new Class A office tower. But the problem is this, right? You see the economy in the United States growing. You see equity markets hitting all-time record highs, which I think that will continue. That's been our thesis for, well over a year now. And I think the main reason why that's happened is because there's never been another time in history, in US history, where we have near full employment, the lowest unemployment rates we've ever had in this country, all while our fiscal spending continues to shoot up and to the right. So fiscal spending really juices the economy. Now the problem is you have unemployment right at all-time record lows, pretty much historically. This is the Miami Tower. But you also have a middle of a hiking cycle. You know, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates 500 basis points. The federal funds rate is 5.25% to 5.5%. And it'll probably stay elevated for some time. So we have the government continuing to spend while interest rates are going up. Our national debt is accruing by about $1 trillion every 100 days. But GDP is still growing because, obviously a few things. Number one, we're going through a technological renaissance in this country with artificial intelligence, cloud computing, which we pretty much talk about every night. But you also have the wind in your sails from the federal government spending a ton of money. So assuming that there's ever a slowdown in federal spending, I think that's probably when you'll see the market kind of look forward and discount equities for slower growth. That's kind of my thesis. Hey, Optimus 17, good to see you. Now this, my friends, this big building right here, this is the 200 Southeast Financial Center. Now, if you guys remember correctly, does anybody remember we used to do our live streams on the 20th floor of this building? Anybody remember that? So the 20th floor used to be occupied by WeWork. Now, Citadel Securities, CEO and founder Ken Griffin, took over the entire 20th floor. Now, that's going to be their temporary headquarters until they could build their super tall tower in Brickell. And, you know, going back to my kind of bull thesis on Miami and kind of why I acquired property down here a few years back is in previous cycles, right, in these kind of transient cities, it's been very frothy and speculative for, second, third, sometimes even fourth and fifth homes. If you look what happened during the 2008 financial crisis, if you look at the markets that got hammered the most in terms of, valuations of homes and commercial office selling off, I think number one was Miami. I think two, pretty much anything in the Sun Belt, right? You had Phoenix, Arizona take it on the chin pretty hard. But generally speaking, by the way, New York, particularly New York City, was pretty insulated from that decline, particularly in Manhattan. Now, I'll tell you why it was particularly insulated in Manhattan. Manhattan has a lot of co-ops. There's a lot of cooperatives in Manhattan. And there's many economists that speculate that one of the main reasons, or one of the main things that saved New York City during the financial crisis was all of these co-ops in the city. Because co-ops are very different than buying in a condo or buying a single family home. Oftentimes they have very, very strict liquidity requirements and very, very high down payment requirements. And it is a very, very difficult process to get somebody approved through a co-op board. I mean, we deal with it every day in our business. It is not easy. We've had clients get denied from co-ops that have 2 times the amount of liquidity needed to purchase the property in cash, but they were denied. So the reason why you had this massive bust in Miami and some of the other Sunbelt states is because people were taking on adjustable rate debt, and these people were not qualified to purchase these properties. Many of them were not making the appropriate income necessary. Many of the underwriting was just fraud. I mean, if we want to be honest, there was virtually no underwriting, and the jobs didn't support those valuations. What I've noticed really over the last 10 years in Miami, and I've worked in tech for the last 12 years, I've worked with a hedge fund, and what I notice now is you not only have the interest in Miami, but you have the jobs that are almost on par with jobs that you would see in major cities like Boston or New York. It's not there yet, okay, and I'll be the first one to say that. It's not there yet in terms of the salaries you could command, but it's getting there. I mean, when you have these quantitative research jobs, when you have a lot of these private equity jobs coming down here, those are really, really solid incomes for the state of Florida, particularly since you don't have any state income tax here. So the main variable for the bull thesis over the long term in these major cities is the good job growth, okay? Follow the money, follow the jobs. Citadel Securities, Thoma Bravo, which is Orlando Bravo's company. There was a great interview the other day with Orlando Bravo. I think he's one of the greatest private equity leaders of all time, honestly. His firm has a specialization in enterprise software. We've talked about a lot of the acquisitions before. We talked about Ping Identity. We covered Darktrace, which is the most recent acquisition. Thoma Bravo really just absolutely blows it out of the water. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. Guys, this is what I'm excited about. This is the brand new Aston Martin residence. And they've officially completed the river walk around the Aston Martin Tower. Isn't that amazing? It's awesome. It's located right on the water here. You're overlooking Brickell, and this island here is a private island called Brickell Key. It's spectacular here. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys the lowdown and the rundown on Miami. Sunshine after rain. Annie, welcome. Hey, look who it is. We have another, just like me, a New Yorker transplant to Miami. Action Kid is here. Now it's funny because this wasn't planned, but I think Action Kid and I bought our places virtually at almost the same time, I think. It's just kind of funny. But AK, check this out. This is the first time I'm walking this. they've officially extended the Riverwalk. If you remember from previous live streams, this was all blocked off with the construction. This looks really nice. You can see all the landscaping is pretty new here. I'm excited to take a walk around. Now over here you have the brand new Hell's Kitchen by Gordon Ramsay. You have this really cool infinity pool. I believe they're gonna put a vehicle, like an Aston Martin here, like in the showroom. Man, could you imagine having a balcony on one of the high floors overlooking, I think you could probably see all the way to South Beach. It's unbelievable. It's awesome. Hey, Cape Cod Sarah. Good to see you. Now what I heard they did is, you see this? This is all brand new elevated seawall, but they also did like this dredging activity here. So if you don't want to drive to your apartment at the Aston Martin residences, and let's say if you're coming from the Bahamas or something, just take your boat, just take your yacht, and you could pull your yacht right up here and go into the lobby and go right up to your apartment. I think that's such a cool idea. Let's check out the inside of the lobby. I think it looks nice. What do you guys think from first impressions here? Hey, what's up, Sally? Andy's here. It's good to see you, Tom. Long time no see. Annyeonghaseyo. Andy, trust you're well in Korea. I will be in Korea early fall. So pretty excited about that. I've never traveled to Asia before, so I'm looking forward to it. Wow. Now I don't think I don't think they have the COI, the certificate of occupancy, yet. Man, this is nice. So this building is the W Hotel and Tower, also the Icon Brickell. And then this is looking over at Brickell Key. Now the crazy thing is this is 100% sold out, but they don't have the certificate of occupancy. What I'm most curious about is when everybody moves in here, I don't know how the traffic is going to be able to withstand. Hey, good to see you, man. I don't know if the traffic is going to be able to withstand all of these new people, because you only have that one little road that goes over to Brickell. Here's the other lobby. Now I'm going to be at a really nice residence called the Turnberry in Sunny Isles Beach. And it's so nice here. Whew, such a nice change from New York. Now, what I was quite surprised about is they don't have a helipad on the roof, I don't think. They have the infinity pool, but they don't have a helipad. Which is interesting because 1000 Museum has it, so if you want to get dropped off in your helicopter, you could. I feel as if the Aston Martin Residences is a building where they probably should have included that. But A cases. I love the landscaping they did. I do too. This is spectacular. It's awesome. I give it a 10 out of 10. John says, love the Turnberry. They have excellent food as well. Yeah, I'm going to be checking out that development in Sunny Isles Beach. It's going to be a very packed trip, but hopefully I'll get some time to go to the beach. All right, everybody. So this was downtown Miami. Now, where we're going to see a lot of foot traffic is over here. This is more residential. Kind of what I think about is this is more like when we walk through like Midtown East, right? You're not going to see a lot of people on the street, but when we walk directly down 6th Avenue, you can see a lot of foot traffic. That's where we're going to go now, assuming my battery holds up. Yeah, Nancy, I heard that. Says Tom, the top floor came with the car. Heard about that too. I believe this is the Epic Hotel and Residences here. But if you guys are enjoying the Miami live stream so far, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Also, if you're interested in our conversations about the financial markets, the real estate market in both New York City and Miami, we do write a free investing newsletter for everybody. We just sent it out on Thursday. We covered a lot. If you want to receive that for free, just scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and you'll be signed up to receive our Substack. Again, we write it every other Thursday, right as the market closes. And thank you to all the readers, by the way, because we're 25 people away from 5,000 readers, which is quite spectacular. And I do appreciate everybody reading my work. I do put a lot of effort into it. I'm pretty much, this is what I do for a living. So thank you for the support. Thank you for reading. All right, let's go by the JW Marriott. I always have to catch myself. I'm always like, let's go by the JW Marriott Essex House. And I'm like, nope, that's Central Park South. So I always have to catch myself. Hey, Action Kids says it was so annoying to walk through the driveway here when it was under construction. Yeah, I agree. And I think they did a good job. And the seawall, I don't know how well it comes out on camera, but it's high. It's like visibly high there. So I've never stayed in the Marriott here, but from some of the viewers, I think maybe Hang with Mark Mom said this. I don't know, I forget. Somebody said that this hotel is a little bit dated, like outdated on the interior. I'll take your word for it. I've never stayed here. Now, as we turn this corner, you're going to see the Miami Tower come into view, or the City National Bank building, which is a pretty cool looking building. Definitely complements the Magic City nickname. But this is Brickell Bridge, and we are now going to loop all the way back around and head to the main financial district. So you're going to see Bank of America Tower, Truist, and many more. There's also pretty good views from up here too. Let's see if we could see any fish. Sometimes you could see the fish swimming by the lights of these yachts over here. Let's check it out. Fingers crossed. Oh, you do. Look at them all. Let me know how that comes out on camera. You guys see all the fish right here? Or maybe it's too dark. Well, anyway, I could see it. Appears to be bait fish kind of jumping out of the water, but you can see them jumping if you look close. So for context, this is where we were walking. So this is the Miami River walk that'll wrap all the way around.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many things.
But let's not get too far. Right now we're trying to
And this is a beautiful view overlooking Brickell Key. Looks like they're eating something down there. Well, Don, I gotta plug in my phone before our battery dies. Okay, I think we should be good now. Surprised my battery lasted that long. Alright, so what do you guys think of the view? Now that is what the Aston Martin residences look like from afar. I'm just so surprised how they're able to do all this engineering like that. That's what's probably the most impressive to me. Because when you think about South Florida, this is all limestone. I mean, this is all very porous limestone. I don't understand how they could build this tall. I don't know how these things just don't sink into the ground. But I guess that's why I'm not an engineer. Anyway, if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. And click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams every single night between New York City and Miami. Wow, here's a little bit better view of it. Look at that. Now, the thing sticking off the back on the right side is the pool, which is pretty cool. Can you imagine swimming up there? The views must be pretty spectacular. Hey Frederico, what's going on? Good to see you. Says, hey Tom, why do you travel back and forth so much? I don't know. I like New York City and I like Miami. I think they're two of the greatest cities in the world, and I need to be here to make things happen, I guess. To do business, build relationships, make some money, and hopefully have some good times along the way, a few laughs. Now, it is quite common though for people to go back and forth between New York City and Miami. This isn't really anything new. New Yorkers have been doing this for a long time. There's actually a lot of New Yorkers here, particularly a lot of Long Islanders, people from the city. So it's quite common. I think because of the close proximity to New York. It's only a 2.5-hour flight. I would take you guys to the Icon Brickell, but the security guy yelled at me the last time, so we won't do that. Hey, Jonathan from Florida, thank you so much for your generous $20 donation. Just welcome back to Miami and happy Florida days. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Yeah, I'm always really, really happy to be back. I think Miami is a fantastic city, and I'm really happy to be here. Look at these palm trees with all the lights on it. AK. Now, I wouldn't say yelled, but I guess you're not allowed to film in there. Also, what I didn't know, apparently you're not allowed to film inside the Brickell City Center either. So, I get it. It'd be kind of cool to take you inside. We've done it multiple times. But Brickell City Center is really nice. Look at this. Now, even though Miami is very futuristic with the buildings, I do like how they're keeping a lot of the older architecture intact. I think it'd be a real tragedy if they ever tore down a building like this. So I think there needs to be a balance. So even though Miami is a very forward-looking, futuristic city, I think it's important to preserve a lot of the older architecture too. So right here on the corner of Southeast 7th Street, this is a pretty massive construction project that is underway. This is going to be the new One Brickell City Center. I think that's the name of it. It's going to be another super tall. It's going to be a commercial use, mainly office, and it's going to be connected to the original Brickell City Center. You can see all the scaffolding around the old building. They're probably getting ready to demo it anytime soon. Maneuver around this guy. So we're gonna make a right on Southeast 8th Street, and that's gonna bring us directly into the main Mary Brickell Village. This is that famous restaurant Komodo. Never been here, but apparently it is all the rage. A lot of people talk about it. So if you make this left on Southeast 8th Street, this is going to bring you to the bridge. Oh, here's the robot. Looks like he's stuck. Maybe he's a little bit shy. We'll leave him be. But this is the only way to get to Brickell Key. Is this bridge right down there. So we're not gonna walk there tonight. We don't have time. We're gonna head here with all these big skyscrapers. So these are the food delivery robots that kind of drive around the city. They'll deliver your food. They can cross the street. But it looks like that guy is having a little bit of a short circuit, so we'll just leave him be. Yeah, Sam is like someone's $50 cheeseburgers getting cold. Very cold. I wonder if it ran out of battery. I'm actually quite curious about it. It's just sitting there. Look at it. Maybe there's like a technical issue with it, something like that. Wait. Anyway, yeah, so this big vacant lot is going to be the One Brickell City Center. Should be pretty cool. I'm excited about it. Right on Brickell Avenue. Let's see if we got the light. All right, walk sign is on. So we're now transitioning into the neighborhood that everybody kind of nicknames the mini Manhattan. You'll see why in a minute. I don't know, I do see a similarity a little bit, but it's definitely its own thing, let's just say that. Now, I like Brickell, don't get me wrong. I like Mary Brickell Village. I just would never want to live there. And the reason is because I spend so much time in New York City when I'm down here. I don't really want to be in a big city, even though Miami is a pretty big city. I just don't want to be living in an apartment, like kind of on top of people. But if that's what you like, I mean, everything is in walking distance. You can walk to your office. There's restaurants, grocery stores, coffee shops. I mean, everything you could imagine is in here. And a cool thing is all of these condos or all these apartments here have elevators that connect directly into the Brickell City Center. So let's say if it's pouring raining out. You're like, oh, there's nothing to do, it's pouring raining. Well, you can come down from your apartment and you could walk the entire mall because it's an indoor-outdoor mall and it's all interconnected. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. It's very, very cool. And you have public transportation who's coming around right now. This is the Metro Mover. So your train can literally drop you directly off at your apartment, which is cool. Now, don't get me wrong, definitely not as robust as the New York City public transportation system, okay, obviously. But, I mean, it's progress. So this is actually one of my favorite buildings here. This is the SLS Lux Residences. And we're just getting into Miami's off season. So a lot of people actually leave Miami during this time of year and they go back to New York, they go back to Toronto. So if you're looking for a time to visit Miami where there's not going to be a ton of people and a ton of traffic, maybe you would want to consider coming now. So
tenemos como unos 6 más que vienen ahorita.
I think this is a nightclub called East. Quite nice, especially the main entrance. 788 Brickell Plaza. gonna come right into the Lucid Motors showroom. We'll see if we can try our luck. So this is the new restaurant that opened. It's called the Henry. This is Brickell City Center right here. Jeans East is a hotel brand from Hong Kong. I didn't know that. Thanks for letting us know. You know, Jean, I never really go to a lot of the restaurants here. So these two towers are the SLS Lux Residences. These are probably two of my favorite buildings here. And this Burger King that's been here forever is actually, it was sold. It's going to be redeveloped. This is what it looks like with the wide angle camera lens. So the quality is a tad bit lower with the wide angle lens, but it kind of gives you a different perspective from that wide angle kind of feel. So this is the pedestrian bridge that connects over the road. And you have pretty nice views looking towards Mary Brickell Village. Let's go back to the regular lens. And we'll wait for the light, we'll cross and we'll do a lap. I think we should have the light in a second. Hey, what's up, Roy? I think that other train is called the Metro Rail. I kind of want to wait for the light here because I want to see this robot cross. We've been talking a lot about autonomous driving and autonomous vehicles a lot lately. Let's see if this thing knows when the light changes. Oh, it does. It appears that it's trying to cross. Oh, I think it's being blocked by the gentleman. Or maybe this is just a really, really long light. Alright, I think the light's broken here. At least it feels like it. We'll give it one more go around, and if it doesn't change, because I really want to see this thing cross on its own. Romero says, what is the purpose of the robot? Well, it delivers food, delivers like drinks and stuff to the residents, the businesses here. It's like a food delivery type robot. Maybe we just have to press the button. Alright, this will be the last shot. Ah, here we go. Goes pretty fast too, right? Goes really fast. Alright, we'll hustle across the street. We'll do one lap and then I gotta head out of here. I got a busy day tomorrow. I mean, the technology is just quite incredible. Now, I was reading something about Walmart, how they're going to be deploying flying drones to deliver packages and groceries to people in select rural neighborhoods. That's going to be huge. Huge, huge. What do you guys think of Brickell so far? It's a pretty unique place. Is 9th Street, South Miami Avenue. Now, just off to our left, this building right here is the tallest residential apartment building in all of Miami. It's called the Paramount Tower. Now, I'll tell you my one critique. Of Mary Brickell Village. I think since the foot traffic has picked up here in a major way, they probably should remove the stop signs and just put regular traffic lights. That's the one thing I'd say. All of these low-rise buildings here, almost all of them are going to come down completely and they're going to build similar super tall structures as the other ones. Says stop signs make traffic flow faster. I don't know about that. Then why on a lot of the busiest streets do they have lights? I think it's safer for pedestrians probably to have lights here. I don't know. quite nice. I like the overall environment, like the overall feel. This is the free trolley. I think this is one of the main attractions to Brickell. It's called Sexy Fish. All right, let's cross. See what's on the menu. I don't know. Seems okay. Good steakhouse here. Troy Atman says good luck tomorrow, Tom. It's 95 degrees. I love it. Oh, cool. We can kind of see inside the restaurant a little bit. Man, it looks crazy in there. This is the restaurant I like. All right, let's cross here and loop around. I have to make my way back to downtown Miami. Hopefully I didn't get a ticket. I risked it today. I didn't pay for parking. But for those of you who are just joining, we briefly talked about overall markets hitting new all-time record highs tonight, or today. S&P 500 new all-time record high. You have the NASDAQ 100 brand new all-time record high. And we had CPI today, which is at 3.4%, still running hotter than what the Fed would like. We'll probably have a little bit more time tomorrow to break it down and do a deep dive. And hopefully we'll be live from South Beach. I wonder what the Citizen M is. Maybe it's a hotel? UF. I like the palm trees too. You know, maybe I'll even hop on the Metro Mover to head back. We'll see. You always see a lot of police officers too, which is good. It's a big police presence, keeping people safe. I think there was a horrible tragedy. I'm not sure if anybody heard about it in South Beach. just 3 days ago. One of my Miami friends sent it to me. I think it was a shooting or something, but all right, let's cross with this guy. I also like what they did with the facade here. Look at that. It's like this colorful rainbow facade, which is quite nice. Oh, is that right? It's a hotel. Nice. Darren Thorne says Miami has its share of problems for sure. Now, I was watching the news clip that my friend sent, and apparently it's a lot of people that come in from out of town that go to the clubs and the bars and things like that in South Beach and cause a ruckus, but you get that everywhere. You know, you get that in New York. But in general, I mean, whenever I'm down here, it's nice. Very clean, very orderly. I feel like the police officers really don't play around down here. Very strict. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams almost every night starting at 8:30. That's kind of the connector bridge at the Brickell City Center. I'm surprised it's not more humid. It's usually humid down here. So this is the entrance, like the main entrance. And if you look at the ceiling, it's designed in a way to have optimal airflow, which is cool. Do we have the light? I think we do. Let's cross with these guys. There's another one of the food delivery robots. Looks like they're just ready to close. What do you guys think? Should we get the Metro Mover or should I just walk it? I'm debating. Maybe we'll just walk it. You can see the other. We can see the other side of the Aston Martin residences. Yeah, the delivery robots are cool, right? I feel as if we should have them in New York, but I also feel as if people would vandalize them in New York. Or they would get hit by a car or something like that. Well, looks like we're walking. That was the Metro Mover. But guys, check out how insane the renderings look here. So this is what it's going to look like to work in one of the offices of one Brickell City Center. I mean, look at that. You could see all the way to South Beach. It's going to be incredible. And this structure looks very similar to the one that they have outside of the art museum in South Beach. So I left my Vespa at the airport for over a month. So just so you guys know, a little bit of a tip. If you live in Miami and you oftentimes commute to New York City, you can park at the airport for free for 30 days if you ride a motorcycle or a Vespa, which is a really good deal. I mean, you can't get that deal in New York. But after 30 days, they tow it. They've been pretty lenient. So mine didn't get towed, but I had 2 flat tires. And I think it's because it's been so hot. Now, here's one thing that's really impressed me about just Miami in general. Everybody's so nice at the airport. So if your battery dies, or if you get flat tires from leaving your vehicle at the airport, there's a free service that comes around and they'll inflate air into your tires. Oh, here's another robot. Look at him. So there's a free service that comes around that'll inflate air into your tires, and they'll jumpstart your car for free. I mean, in New York City, it's like everybody has their hand out for something, but it's such a convenient service, and the people, they seem as if they're not like annoyed to do it. Like it was very startling to me at first. You know, I had my battery die before. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna rip my head off. And he, you know, got out of his truck and he's introducing himself to me. I was like, what? I'm like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? He was nice. He asked me what my name was. He said, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. He was asking me what I was doing in Miami. He was like a nice guy, which is very peculiar to kind of run into that. And today, same guy, really nice guy, Maurice, who inflated both my tires. You'll never see that at JFK. Anyway, so free tip for everybody. If you move down here, you could park at the airport for free for 30 days, which is fantastic. But you know what? I think we will go ahead. Actually, what time is it here? Let me see. Gotta plug in my phone again. I wanted to stop in the Whole Foods before it closes, but I think we missed it. Someone says, man, I need a Vespa, do it. And you know, you can get a scooter for very, very cheap down here. 1,500 bucks, 100 miles to the gallon. You could cruise all over. It's the best thing in the world. Now, assuming you don't have a family, you don't have kids, right? It's amazing. You cruise around Collins Avenue, looking at the palm trees. It's just the best quality of life ever, unmatched. We got stuck. Oh no, we didn't get stuck. Sometimes this bridge goes up and stays up forever. So here's another look at the Aston Martin residences coming over Brickell Bridge from Brickell to downtown Miami. Such a futuristic feel. Ah, Whole Foods closes in 10 minutes. It's all right. I'll have to get something to eat somewhere else. We'll figure it out. Now, the one thing I wish they had in Miami that they don't have is a robust network of bodegas. Like, I can go into a bodega or a deli anytime I want to in New York and get a hero, Italian hero, anything I want. It's not like that here. At least maybe not yet. This is the Capitol Grill. I don't think I go to Burger King tonight. This is artichoke pizza. No artichoke pizza, but we do have a Joe's. There is now Joe's in Miami, in Wynwood. Let's hustle up, see if we can make this light. Nah, I think we'll just miss it. It's okay. Can't wait to explore the city in GTA 6. I totally forgot about that. So imagine once the Aston Martin Residences is ready to take on tenants. How is all this traffic going to be supported by this one little road? I don't know about that. We'll see. Let's go on the Riverwalk one more time. I was so impressed by that new Riverwalk. Let's do it one more time and then we'll head out. Yeah, Joel PM says find my house in GTA 6. That's hilarious. Yeah, chances are somebody will probably track down my house in GTA 6 and drive a car through it or something crazy. Oh, can you use a helicopter at the Aston Martin residences? I thought you couldn't. But it makes sense that you should be able to. You can with the 1000 Museum. Wow, it's getting late. We've already been doing this for over an hour and a half. Yikes. Look at this blacked out Rolls Royce. Pretty cool. Quite nice. All right, so here's the brand new connector to the Riverwalk. Never before seen until 30 minutes ago. So this is all brand new. Right outside of the Aston Martin Tower. How nice the view is. I think they did a good job on the landscaping overall. And here's one of the main entrances to the new Aston Martin residences. I think it looks nice. Now remember, there's nobody living here now, but this thing is pretty much 100% sold out. So you could only imagine just what, an economic boost this is gonna give to downtown Miami when, residences are here, they're going out to dinners. It's gonna be pretty cool. Oh, look at this Cybertruck. So we have a Cybertruck at the Aston Martin residences. Whew, just looking at the palm trees is really nice. And then this is looking towards Brickell Key.
No, I was looking all the way after the conversation. I did it.
Pretty cool, right? Joel PM. So I'm on a Volkswagen Residences budget. you and me both, dude. That's funny. You never know. Maybe there's going to be a Volkswagen Residence coming up. Now there is, and I think we already talked about this. There's an not Aston Martin, Mercedes-Benz Residence coming up, and Sirhant is going to be leading sales on that. But you never know. Maybe you'll see a little collaboration. You never know what could happen with the Kirsten Jordan team. Maybe we'll do a few deals there. Can't guarantee anything, but you never know. Right.
But it looked nice. One of them hybrid. It's a new hybrid Ferrari.
I think I was talking about it as a hybrid Ferrari. I had no idea that Ferrari made hybrids. Now Ferrari, that's another stock that's been performing really well. The ticker symbol is RACE. R-A-C-E. And it's interesting because when you think about those big luxury brands, right? Like Ferrari, like LVMH, Moet Hennessy, they've all been doing really, really well. And that kind of is indicative of kind of the lopsided economic recovery we've had. And this building with all the graffiti, this is going to be demolished pretty soon. And in its place is going to be a super tall one bayfront plaza. This is Bayfront Park Station. And this is the Intercontinental Hotel. So let's go back to the Kaseya Center. That's where I have to go to head home.
May we have your attention? Metro Nemo is currently operating full loop service. Primary and Brickell trains are operating in continuous loop from School Board Station to Financial District Station. Attention passengers, for your safety, please do not attempt to enter the car.
Kyle says you have parents in Miami. No, it's just me. Just me in Miami. Trust me, I'm trying to persuade people to come down here, but quite difficult. But you know what, guys? I think this is a good place to call it a night. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. and click the subscribe button if you're new. If you enjoy all of these financial conversations that we have each night, feel free to check out our Substack. We publish all of our equity research for free on our Substack. You can view it by scanning the QR code on your screen and punching in your email. We send it out every other Thursday right as the market is closing. And last Thursday, we had an action-packed newsletter. A lot of the things that we talked about in the newsletter have come to fruition this week. And it seems like the bulls continue to dominate on Wall Street. So guys, thank you for joining us. Welcome back to Miami, everybody. And hopefully, please God, we'll see you right back here tomorrow night live from South Beach, Miami, Florida. Take care, guys. Andy, appreciate it. All of our moderators, Abdullah, Mohammed, Hang with Mark Mom, Trust You Well, New England Crypto, Darren, Mars, Joel PM, Sarah, appreciate it, UniJ23. There's always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. See you guys later.